As you know, the whole story of the discovery of oil in Saudi Arabia happened by happenstance. The British, having discovered oil in Iraq, Iran, and then in Bahrain and Kuwait, King Abdul Aziz invited them to look in Saudi Arabia. They did, and they came back with a report that, sorry, Your Majesty, there is no oil in your territory. And of course, they lived to regret that. He received an American, Charles Crane, who was, if you remember, the King Crane Commission after the First World War, which set up the mandate for the post-Ottoman territories in the Levant. Crane had an interest in the Arab world and came on a visit on his yacht to Jeddah and had dinner with King Abdul Aziz. And they were discussing the availability of water resources in the kingdom, and the king complaining that, unfortunately, in such a large territory, there wasn't much water. So Crane offered to send a geologist that worked for one of his companies to look for water in the Arabian Peninsula. And true to form, within 6 months, that geologist came back with a report to King Abdulaziz saying, basically, Your Majesty, you're absolutely right. There are not many water resources in your kingdom, but there may be oil. And after searching for a few years, finally struck oil in 1937, I think, or 38. So yes, the kingdom was very poor in 1953, still after the war coming out, and much dependent on goodwill and friendship of the United States, which was growing because of these interests. My father's vision is coming to life. The kingdom's development, nearly 50 years since he died now. We're coming to the state where his vision is coming to reality. And alhamdulillah, particularly under King Salman and the leadership of Crown Prince Mohammed, the inauguration of Vision 2030 is very much an application of that broad engagement with humanity that the late king envisioned. The kingdom is in a much better place to provide the intent of being radiance to humanity now than it ever was, even during my father's time. So this is where I think we're heading.